Coming up on today's Lauren's Crazy Pet Show, a fabulous new statue parade is coming to one local town, and every single one of us can take part. Another gorgeous creature is making an amazing comeback in Connecticut, and bunnies everywhere. Welcome to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. We have got a terrific show for you, but first, we know Halloween is over, but we just had to come here back to Farmington Polo Club to celebrate a very horsey Halloween. Heather, thank you so much for inviting us back. We had such awesome response from the story that we did here. It was about a year ago.
Oh, I'm so glad. I know time flies, right?
It's amazing, but people have to know that Farmington Polo Club is open all year round.
Absolutely. We're open 365.
Yeah, and today you have an awesome Halloween event.
Yeah, you know we love our holidays around here. Today with our friends and family of the Polo Club, we had a Halloween costume contest with some of our ponies. So we have different stations that will be set up, and we're going to be decorating our ponies. There will be a prize for that. And then our indoor arena, we have relay races that we're partnering up in teams with our Dream Riders from our Special Olympics program will be joining us. We're gonna have a really fun time with that. And then at 1 o'clock, we have our arena polo match in costume as well. So we're super excited for that, and that will be in costume too. So it is just, you know, the more costume, the more color, the more fun today. That's definitely what we're going for.
And we see some diverse costumes, and even the horses are getting in on it too, right?
Absolutely. We love boas around here. You know, you throw one on, and it just makes everybody happy.
And now you have a special horse with you. That's Katie, and she got her name a special way.
This is Miss Katie. So she's just joined our program in the last 2 weeks. She's part of our lesson program. And as that's growing, we need to grow our herd here as well, so to speak. And we thought it would be a fun way to give her an appropriate name for our club. And we had a huge response rate on Instagram and Facebook. People gave us great names. We all really appreciate that. But the name we chose is Katie, which came from some of our Dream Riders, 3 Katies that met at Dream Ride and through the Special Olympic program. And we just thought that was really fitting for a sweet girl like her and the sweet girls they are.
That's such a great, I love it, because you had that contest. And you have so many things that you do here. You had movie night.
Yeah, this summer was jam-packed. You know, we did a lot of graduations for high schools and some of the local colleges on our Jumbotron, and you know, we have the big field space, so we were able to do that safely. And then on Friday nights, we did our movie nights with families. We sold food from our food trucks, which we offered to the public. You can rent those as well. Saturdays, we had our polo matches. We had a little delay with COVID to the start, but it was a way for people to be outside, to socially distance, yet still feel a little bit normal. You know, they could tailgate, bring their own food, or if they wanted to be catered to, we had our tents open and we provided food and beverage for them under there as well. And then on Sundays, Sunday mornings became a gem, really in the warmer seasons. Cars and coffee. People would bring their fun, you know, Sunday car. They'd come get a coffee with us, have a breakfast sandwich from Trucker Cafe. It was a really good time, and our beginner league for polo really took off. They really got competitive on the grass this year and played there at 10 o'clock every Sunday morning.
And I remember when we were here and it was warmer, we had so many people tailgating, and some of them brought their dogs, and even some brought their cats.
Yeah, I know, a cat. We've had some parrots before. It's quite the array and display. But you know, I think that's what people love about it. They get to bring a sense of themselves and share it with others.
Let's talk about the arena. How is that different from the polo that we saw this summer?
So the arena, it's 3-on-3, 3 versus 3 players. And the arena is a smaller confined area. The ball is bigger. Think about the size of a softball, but it's made up like a soccer ball. So it's a little softer if it hits you. Technically, it's usually a quicker, more rapid changing kind of game, where outdoors is the bigger hits, the smaller ball, the faster pace. Where arena is kind of like more like your short little sprints, where outdoors is like the full run, gallop, big hits.
Do you need your own horse to play?
No, not a Farmington Polo Club. We have a full string of horses. This summer, we had about 50 horses up and running.
Fantastic. So once again, let everybody know where they can find you and that you are open all year round.
Yeah, Farmington Polo Club, 152 Town Farm Road in Farmington, Connecticut. We are about 10 minutes from Hartford. We are easily 35, 40-minute drive from pretty much anywhere. You know, you can drive up from the shoreline and still make it back to the beach in the summertime if you want to catch a game. We're close to Boston. We have people come up from New York to play with us. So we're very accessible by many interstates.
And it's just fabulous. So I'll be back in the spring. Are you ready for me?
I'm always ready for you guys. You guys rock.
Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. Now take a look at these two awesome statues in Stamford. They were part of one of the last great animal statue parades in our area. But now there's a call for artists to help create a new parade in Ridgefield, and this time it's going to the dogs.
So basically we have come up with a public art event sponsored and initiated by Artful Visual Arts Initiative, which is a brand new nonprofit. And the goal of the nonprofit is to help artists reach their goals, either by scholarship, by resident artist program, or by having their wonderful work displayed in public art initiatives. So we came up with the Bow Wow Art Dog event. And what this event is we have these incredible statues, the Great Dane, the Sitting Lab, and the Pup. And what we are doing is we're getting sponsors, and those sponsors will be able to advertise through the art being displayed out in public. And then we're having artists submit applications and designs and ideas for these guys. Now the ideas can get kind of crazy, a little fun, and so they'll be creating these matched with a sponsor, and they actually get a fee, which is unusual for artists. After they're decorated, they will go around town. We're shooting for April to May timeframe. Now the fun thing about this is we will have a map and advertising on that map for the sponsors, and you will be able to find the name of a dog and find where the location that dog will be and go actually hunt for them throughout town. What this is really ultimately going to do is benefit some other nonprofits in town. The Ridgefield Guild of Artists, a visual arts nonprofit, the Aldridge Contemporary Art Museum, and of course ROAR, which is the Ridgefield Operation for Animal Rescue, which is an organization that helps adopt out cats and dogs. After these are out on public display, they will then move to the Aldridge Contemporary Art Museum for an event, wine, appetizers, fun, a live auction, and a silent auction. These guys will go in those auction, and as they bid, proceeds from that will go to those three organizations equally split.
I'm Steve. I'm a resident artist here, and I'm going to be working on the Sitting Lab. It's a really unique opportunity. I'm used to painting onto canvases, and the dog offers another challenge, which is a 3D aspect of having to paint the dog. I do have experience in painting these kind of statues in the past. I have participated in painting 2 of the cows on parade, which was in New York a few years ago, and 2 of the Stamford circus animals. There's definitely challenges in painting it. The Sitting Lab, we got sponsorship to make a Tiffany dog. We have to draw it first, we then have to let it, and then we have to paint it, and it will look like a Tiffany lamp. I'm a representative painter. I've done many Ridgefield street scenes, which are my most recent subject matter, but I've also do some things of people that's a little bit more unique. They're kind of seniors with attitude. Here's a seniors playing billiards, and here's seniors on a motorcycle.
So I'm going to be painting this lovely lab with Steve Leiker, and he mentioned to you how we're planning to make it reminiscent of a Tiffany lamp, and I think you'll be interested to see what the outcome is like. This is my work. I'm a conceptual artist. These are weavings. I am not a trained weaver. I'm self-taught. Each one of these tells a story. It's all about community, unconditional love, and our roots as people and our families, and reconnecting with those people in the midst of the pandemic and getting back to our roots.
This dog is Bob Ross. Here we are in the RPAC Art Center and Academy, which is actually a support system for working artists. Bob Ross was one of the most famous representational painter instructors. Of course, he made his, existence known to everybody on a Sunday morning, who would just kind of drown out to the sound of his voice and his happy trees. So this dog represents what RPAC Art Center and Academy stands for. He has happy trees. These are actually 2 of his paintings that we recreated on the dog. The quote that we painted was, "There are no mistakes, just happy accidents," which was one of his famous taglines. So as RPAC Art Center and Academy, we sponsored the dog for Artful, the nonprofit that supports any artist, no matter where you come from, no matter who you're affiliated with. We just want to encourage visual arts through Ridgefield, through other communities, and help artists grow. If you do want to become an artist or a sponsor, of course, we have a full website at artfulgives.org, which explains the entire thing along with artist application, templates, and sponsorship payments. The other way to contact us is we have packets already pre-made for artists and sponsors. You can stop by the gallery, view this beautiful art, pick up a package, and that's at 410 Main Street. You can also email at info@artfulgives.org, and we will be happy to answer any questions you have. I'm always available also.
Wow, we can't wait to see that parade. Coming up next, Thanksgiving may be close, but we sure hope these guys aren't on the menu. Another fabulous comeback story. When we come back, stay tuned. Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. You know, Thanksgiving is coming up soon, so we're going to talk turkey, but we're going to talk wild turkey.
That's right, Lauren. Today we're going to talk turkey. Hi there, my name's Ginny Apple. I'm a Master Wildlife Conservationist with the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. And I go around and give a lot of talks about wildlife to educate people about the importance of them in our ecosystems. Ben Franklin said about the wild turkey that it was a true original native of America. And it is true. They are North American natives. They were here long before humans, over 10 million years ago. It's the only breed of poultry that's native to the Western Hemisphere. The type that's found in Connecticut is called the Eastern Wild Turkey. And you can pronounce that Latin if you want, but I won't try. And here we are.
I'm not trying either, Ginny.
Let's talk turkey.
Well, didn't Ben Franklin want the turkey to be our national symbol?
That's not a true story. What happened initially was the Continental Congress decided they would take Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams and ask them to come up with a symbol for our country. So they came up with these outlandish biblical references. One of them wanted Hercules, showing him doing his labors. Jefferson quoted some scripture about Pharaoh and Moses parting the Red Sea. So in between, they finally came up with a secretary named Thompson, who was the secretary of the Continental Congress, and he drew actually an eagle as a symbol. It was adapted. And then a few years later, Franklin was in the club of the Cincinnatus and they wanted a symbol. And he asked them if they would use the turkey because he felt that in retrospect, they should have used the turkey for the symbol of America because the eagle was of bad moral character. So it was in a letter to his daughter that he had said he'd wished that they had used the turkey because it was a true native of America. But the bald eagle's also natives of Americans. The wild turkeys got their name from Mediterranean traders, and they were called Turks over in England. So when they brought poultry over here and noticed the native birds, they just called them turkeys. They were hunted to near extinction in colonial times, and so by 1813 they were totally gone from the state. By the late 1930s, fewer than 30,000 remained in the U.S.
Wow.
So today it's estimated there are over 10 million wild turkeys in the United States. That doesn't include the southern versions of the wild turkey, but that's this eastern wild turkey. In 1975, Connecticut finally had a wild turkey biologist. His name was Stephen Jackson, and he started the wild turkey program, and they brought in 22 turkeys from New York State. They brought them into Norfolk, Connecticut in the Great Mountain Forest, which is a beautiful place. And as the flock prospered, because they had the right habitat, they would begin to take some of those turkeys and move them throughout the state. So we now estimate our population around 40,000 birds. We do have a wild turkey count. We ask citizen scientists to count any turkey hens they see with their young, which are called poults, P-O-U-L-T-S. They have 7 to 14 poults, and a lot of times those will be narrowed down to about 7 or 8 or less because they can be preyed upon, by bobcat and lots of other fox animals when they're young. The hens of wild turkeys are called hens, and they're lighter in color. They weigh somewhere between 8 and 12 pounds, and they're about 36 inches long from head to toe. They make a ground nest with their beak, so they'll make a nest, and their nests are right in the ground, so they're very susceptible to predators. Breeding season starts in late March and early April, and that's when the toms, which is what a male turkey is called, they'll start their gobbling and their display. They'll stick up their fantail and just turn around and say, "Ain't I handsome?"
It's like a peacock, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, but what we've noticed lately is a lot of the turkeys will lay their eggs together, say a couple of hens, and then they take all of their poults together, and they can protect them better. But you'll see them crossing a road, and you'll see one hen go across the road, and the other hen will wait until all the other little poults get across the road. then that hen will go across. So we've seen this happening a lot now, and it's a way that we think they have to protect their young better. In fact, I found that black bears are afraid of groups of turkeys. I've seen the black bears in my yard, which abuts a state forest, looking up, and I'm like, what are they looking at? There's nothing here. Then all of a sudden, here come these turkey gangs going in. It's called a rafter of turkeys, and the bear just tears out. I don't know if it's a noise or the group or what, but I've seen numerous bears run from the wild turkeys.
You wouldn't think that from a turkey.
Right. They can run up to 25 miles an hour, and they can fly at speeds of up to 55 miles an hour.
Wow.
So even though when you see them taking off, because they do have a really heavy body, they seem very clumsy, but they can fly as far as they need to go, and then they rest in trees, and they're generally safe. Their wingspan is 4 to 5.5 feet, and I decided that I wanted to get a way to call turkeys, so I got a turkey caller. This one's called the Grand Slam. Well, every time I do it, the turkeys run away. So a hunter friend of mine said, I'm going to have to show you how to use it. So again, here's a turkey call. So they're made in all shapes and sizes, and like a lot of duck calls and things, they all have a little different sound. So, but this, as you see, there's no turkeys coming, and we're in perfect turkey habitat. So, all right.
Ginny, so if people want more information, and you give these wonderful Zoom talks now because of COVID, how can they keep up with you and find you?
They can either look on my Facebook page, where I usually announce if I have a Zoom talk coming up.
Now,
and be sure to look up on the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection's page and look up wild turkeys and participate in their turkey talk. And again, that helps them use data to try to extrapolate and figure out exactly what our populations of wildlife are.
Those turkeys are really cute, but I don't think they're very cuddly. No. But when we come back, we are going to see some absolutely adorably cuddly creatures. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Look at this adorable little rabbit. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Lauren's Crazy Pet Show. This right here is the dude. And we found some absolutely marvelous bunnies who are looking for their forever home. Michelle, I understand every bunny here has a story, and Ping Pong is one of them.
Yep, he certainly is. Up until recently, when I finally was able to get into Google and change the address, my personal address was listed. So occasionally you have people that want to surrender their bunnies. I happened to be sitting in my garage, and a young girl came up and she held the bunny up and she just carried it into my garage, and she said, "He's fine, he's just skinny." He was stained yellow. I mean, he was so dirty, and he wasn't just skinny, he had been starved. So she said he had never had hay before. He was just skin and bones. So basically it was just a matter of, give him to me, you can go. Just because people don't understand. I don't think they do it intentionally. It might be a lack of education, not knowing they need a constant supply of hay. But it was disheartening to see a starved, dirty bunny being dropped off at your door. But with just some food, rest, water, and TLC, and clearly lots of love, he has thrived. He's come into his own. He is just, you can't walk by his enclosure without him wanting to be pet. And he puts his head out and says, "Come here and give me some loving."
He's one lucky bunny, as are all that are here. How did you start things off?
It was kind of chance. I had wild baby bunnies in my backyard, and my dog was not trying to hurt them, but she was startling them. So I just relocated them away from her. And after that, it was like the bunny bug bit me. I was just like, they're so adorable. And so I adopted a domestic pair. And then a couple months later, I adopted another pair. And then I called her. I said, "Do you need volunteers? Or who's the bunny that would least likely be adopted?" And then I adopted that bunny. So I started volunteering. And then within probably 5 months, I was asked to take it over if I would be interested in assuming the role of director and CEO. So I went for it. And then we found this awesome facility that could accommodate all of us and all of our bunnies and have lots of room. Like, that's our big thing, is lots of room. So yeah, it was just kind of happenstance that I got into it and that it was handed off, and I just started building it. Like, what would I want to see in a rescue? Education is key for anything, including taking care of animals and what they need. It's just to find loving, building indoor homes across Connecticut for our bunnies that we've rescued and spayed and neutered prior to that, and just kind of giving them everything they would need when they walk out the door, where they should be seen for a vet. They have lots of informational packets we send home, and we spend sometimes 2+ hours with each appointment because we want them to leave here feeling they got everything out of it. And when they do leave, we're still here if they have questions.
So you have adopted 2 beautiful bunnies here. Tell us your story.
So actually, this is Jack. So Jack had the opportunity to bring in something from nature for his preschool class. And we decided to bring in crickets from Petco and save them. And when we released them the next day, Jack ended up crying. And my husband and I talked about getting something a little small that could just be for the boys. And we saw Every Bunny Counts, and we just love the idea of rescuing an animal, especially since bunnies can't go to like an ASPCA and places like that. This is one of only, I believe, 2 bunny shelters in all of Connecticut that just deal with bunnies, so they have a place that is safe for them, and that just really spoke to us. So we came down and we found Ella straight away. Jack and Aiden walked right by her, and she followed them right around, and we knew that she was coming home with us that day. And then we decided over the summer that we would probably add another bunny to our family at some point. And the website had actually posted that our now Bert had been brought back to Everybody Counts. And we decided if that Bert and Ella bonded, that we would take Bert home with us. And they immediately connected, and now we feel like our home is definitely more complete with having our Bert and Ella with us, for sure.
They're so cute, and the boys are so cute with them. I mean, they just love them up.
Oh, they do. And Jack is doing distance learning 100% at home right now, and Aiden's at home. There's no preschool this year for him. So we are completely down in our basement throughout our day. We let them out, they run around. Jack's actually been able to share with his classroom being a bunny owner, which has been great, and the kids just loved it and were able to react and ask him a bunch of questions about it. They travel with us. My mom and dad live in Vermont. They travel with us and our dogs back and forth to Vermont. Every trip up to Nana and Pop-Pops, they go with us. People, if we stop in for fast food or do a drive-through and people see not only our dogs but then the bunnies in there, they just crack up.
So we have about 40 bunnies here right now. We've had up to 100. So they're all unique, and not only do they all look different, they all have different personalities, which is one of my favorite parts of getting new bunnies in, is getting to know them and their different personalities. My friend Chiquita here is what we call spicy. She has a very strong personality, and she has lop ears too. So there's 2 types of bunny ears: lop ears that go down and then just straight pointing up.
And they actually like to play, right?
Yes, they're super playful. Bunnies are extremely intelligent. So Chiquita has a block in here. She has a little hay toss toy. She has a little stuffed lammy and some wood sticks. The wood stuff is important because their teeth grow constantly. So not only will they toss this stuff, but they'll chew it, and it keeps their teeth down. A favorite thing for bunnies to do is play in boxes. So they'll jump on top, they'll play underneath. So they do like to play, and they'll play with people, they'll play on their own. Mine will play with my dog even. So they are really smart and friendly animals.
Now, if people want to get in touch and adopt a bunny, how can they do that?
So the easiest way is to go to everybunnycounts.com. We have a brand new website. Our designer just put it all together. It looks great. So there's a form on there where you can just submit general inquiries as well as an adoption form. And there's also an opportunity to donate there as well.